So this card, we're using an I believe it's an A4 card. It's a 4" by 6" card. And you're going to start out by just layering a piece of paper that is 3 3/4 by 5 3/4 inches on top of the cover of the card. We used a solid for this just because we wanted to put a patterned paper for the background of the sky, but you could definitely reverse that if you wanted to do something more busy in the background and have more of a solid print for the sky. Take your paper that you're going to use for the sky though and kind of lay out your embellishments, how you want it to go. This will kind of help you determine where you need that trough to go for your interactive embellishment to follow. Take a hole punch and punch a hole where you want it to start and where you want it to end. You can do this with a craft knife too, but it's just really easy with a hole punch. And then you want to connect those lines using a craft knife and ruler. If you're doing a straight line, it's very easy. A curve will take a little bit more time, but we're keeping it simple and just doing a straight line for this one. Ideally, you want your trough to be shorter than the length of the embellishment that you're using, so that when your card's in a resting position, you don't see that trough at all. And you can see on ours, we decided to have Santa fly diagonal up and over the cityscape. So once you have that printed paper cut out, you can go ahead and adhere it to your card using the foam adhesive. But again, like the previous card, you want to make sure that you have enough foam on there to support the paper, but not enough to interfere with that, that mechanism, that the penny or the button, whatever you're using to move your embellishment on the front of your card. So definitely add some foam around the edges. And if you have any large open spaces in the center, put a little bit there, but keep it at least a ½ inch or so away from the trough. Let's move on to the main interactive embellishment for a minute. If you're following along with our kit, we included the Reindeer Team by Memory Box die, and we cut it out in triplicate. You can go ahead and cut and layer those however you want. I did the reins and the antler in the lighter brown, the tan color, and then I cut out the bodies of the reindeer in the darker color to layer them on, but you can do it however you want. Next, you'll need to anchor that embellishment onto a solid piece of cardstock. I used in our kit the same paper that I used for the sky background, and you're going to want a piece that's about a ½ inch by 3 1/2 inches if you're following along with the kit. You may need to modify it if you're using a different embellishment. And glue the sleigh and the reindeer on using your needle point glue adhesive, and glue it on so the tops of the reindeer and the top of the sleigh hang over the top edge of that little supportive strip. You're going to need 2 pennies to keep this stable and supported on the front of your card. Use your foam adhesive and cut out a small rectangular strip. On the last card we used more of a small square piece of adhesive. On this one you want a rectangular piece of adhesive that's smaller than the width of your trough. And just add that adhesive, the foam adhesive, right onto the penny, but don't pull off the protective backing yet on it. Leave it on there so it's not sticky on the exposed side. Now when you put your card together, those two pennies are kind of going to go side by side to work together to support both ends of that long embellishment. So go ahead and add the printed paper background to the front of your card if you haven't done that already. Now it's time to add your pennies. Go ahead and slide them between the two layers of paper so that they line up in the trough, and the adhesive that you added onto the penny lines up and sticks up through that trough. So slide the pennies closer together a little bit so that they still have room to slide all the way back and forth on that trough. But they're still far enough apart together that your embellishment doesn't sag on the ends. And go ahead and remove the adhesive and gently add your embellishment. Now that your embellishment moves freely through the trough, it's time to add any other embellishments that you wish to the card. We cut down a memory box skyscraper die for this one, and then just added a simple Merry Christmas sentiment on it. Okay, now that we've got the cards done, I'm going to show you a couple fun techniques that are really easy ways to enhance the cards that you've already made. The first one that I'm going to go over is envelope lining. This technique is so easy to use, and it's great because you really can use it on any size or style of envelope. You just need a few basic supplies that I'm sure you probably have on hand. And you're just going to line your envelope up on the paper how you want it to show. You're going to line it up on the front of the paper that is actually going to be seen when you open the envelope. So it's really easy to just line it up. From there, take a pen and ruler and just kind of trace the edge, around the edge of the envelope. You want the lining to be a little bit smaller than the envelope so that it slides in easily, and also so that it doesn't obstruct that glue border up at the top. So when you draw the line for the bottom of your card, measure up about 1/2 inch to just to compensate for that glue border. Once you have the envelope traced, you can go ahead and cut it out. Just use a regular pair of scissors and cut about 1/8 of an inch inside the lines. This will ensure that you have enough room so that the lining slides into the envelope without the paper bubbling. Once you have your lining cut out, just simply slide it into the envelope, line it up how you want it, and fold your envelope closed so that it creases your lining at the right spot. After you've given it a good crease, open it back up and just secure it in place with a little bit of adhesive on that top triangular flap of the lining. And that's it.